Hey, fabulous teachers! Welcome to my free webinar today, all about cross-curricular fun for November. I am so excited to be here with y'all today. Thank you so much for hopping on. I am so excited. So hi, Julie. Hi, Gina. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Kara Rickman. I'm the founder of Create Your Balance with Literacy, and I am a 23-year veteran teacher turned coach, mentor, and trainer to help teachers like you develop their craft in teaching cross-curricular. So if you're here today and you're listening to all these fantastic ideas that I'm going to share with you, then you are ready to teach cross-curricular. I'm so excited. So I cannot wait to share all my tips and tricks with you today and take your classroom to the next level. So just a couple housekeeping things before we get started. My Wi-Fi might be a little bit slow, and so my face might freeze on the camera, but my voice will keep going. And it's fine. Don't freak out, okay? So my face might freeze, but my voice will be fine. Just keep on with me. Hi, Terry. Thanks for watching. And also, anytime that you guys have any questions about anything that I'm sharing with you today, please ask, okay? I'm going to have a Q&A at the end, like I always do. And so if you're commenting today, you could win some free resources. And so I'm going to share those with you in just a couple minutes. So welcome to everybody who's coming on. This is just a little bit of background about myself, because I know that we have some new faces in our Facebook group. We have some new faces that are going to join us today that don't know who I am or where I'm from. So I apologize if you've heard this many times. But like I said, my name is Kara Rickman. I've been teaching for 24 years. I have taught GT and ESL. And I've been in third grade for 5 years and first grade for 18 years. Love first grade. It's my passion. And I have been the team leader for about 12 years on my team. I've been a mentor, a coach, and a trainer in my school district. I teach in Boerne, Texas, which is a rural country district north of San Antonio in the Texas Hill Country. So I have taught my fellow colleagues Writer's Workshop, Reader's Workshop, Guided Reading, Math Workshop, Behavior Management, and I'm now CPE certified, y'all. So if you need a certificate of attendance today, this webinar is going to be 1 hour long. So you message me on Facebook Messenger after the webinar is over, and I'll send you a certificate for 1 hour, and you can put that towards your PD hours, okay? I was Teacher of the Year in 2009, and I'm also a Seesaw Ambassador. So I have had the privilege of teaching both of my daughters in my first grade class. So you're going to see a lot of pictures of them today for this particular unit, this particular month, because I took a lot of pictures of them when they were in my class. And so I loved having my kids in my class. Some teachers are like, why did you have your kids in your class? But I loved it. It was amazing. It was the best years of my life. So I do have a TPT store. If you don't know, then you can click on this picture after the webinar is over. I'm going to upload this into the Facebook group. You guys can download for free. Download it for free and click on any of these pictures to check out any of these resources. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I really want that, I really like that, then afterwards you download this on your computer and click on any of these pictures. They all have links to all the resources, okay? So you can connect with me on Facebook, and you can invite all of your teacher friends. Please invite your teacher friends to come join us. Hi, Amber. Thank you so much for watching. You can connect with me on Pinterest, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel. I have a blog, and I have a podcast. Hi, Shannon. Thank you for coming and joining me. And if you are interested in signing up on my email list, you can click on this link afterwards, and you can sign up to get my newsletter. So in my newsletter, I call it my weekly chronicle, and I have a dollar deal, I have a freebie, I have a BOGO, buy one, get one free. I have a tip of the week, the YouTube video of the week. This is all my things that I have done for the week. So my podcast episode and my free webinar information for you to sign up, and my blog post for the week. So you guys can sign up for my email list if you're interested. So if you love what I'm sharing with you today and you want more, stay tuned to the end, because you could have a chance to join my lifetime membership subscription, where all of your lesson plans, all of your resources are already made for you, and all you have to do is print them out, and you can take back all your weekends and your weeknights to have to yourself. So stay tuned to the end. Exciting news. So you guys probably already know this, but this is a webinar series. So I've done back to school, I've done September, October, and now it's November. The next one's going to be December. It's going to be even better. And so I'm working on that one as we speak. And for December, it's going to include ideas and topics for Jan Brett, Christmas celebrations around the world, which I love, and reindeer, the Polar Express, the Grinch, Christmas math activities, letters to Santa and the North Pole, the Nutcracker, and so much more, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to be uploading that event in the Facebook group in a couple of days, so you guys can sign up for that one too. So today, here's what we're going to be learning. I'm going to show you what you can win for free if you're commenting. I'm going to show you my units for November. November, I feel like, is jam-packed full of fun. I mean, there's so many different days in November, so many different things that you could cover in November. So I might be talking a little bit fast. I might be overwhelming to you, but you know what? You can always go back and watch this webinar later because it's always going to be saved in our Facebook group in the media section, okay? I'm going to share with you my how I store my mentor text organization, my unit organization, materials and supplies you need for November, my Tomie dePaola author study, my election day voting and elections resources, Veterans Day resources, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving activities, turkey activities, maps, globes, cardinal directions activities, my Native American thematic unit, which I love, and Autumn and Scarecrows thematic unit. And then, of course, at the end, I will have a Q&A. And I'm going to share with you my lifetime membership subscription. I'm also going to share with you 5 easy steps to teach cross-curricular at the end with my Native American thematic unit, okay? So I've got a lot of great things to share with you today. So these are what you could win. Okay, hi Carol, thanks so much for joining me. Hi Jill. If you're commenting today, you could win my Native American Customs thematic unit. So this is what I'm going to share with you at the end. How to teach this one cross-curricular. I'm going to share with you all the activities and the standards that I use, the performance assessments, the vocabulary, everything, okay? Hi Tamika, thank you for watching. I'm going to share, so you could win this thematic unit. It's got like 20 different days of lesson plans, okay? Cross-curricular, okay? Or you could win this one. This one's called Let's Write About Thanksgiving. This one has writing craftivities for pilgrims, Native Americans, turkeys, autumn, scarecrows, all the whole gamut for November. So if you just want your kids to have fun with writing and you want them to write about Native Americans or pilgrims or Thanksgiving, that is for you, okay? Or you could win this science investigation. It's called That's So Corny. And so this one is a science investigation with corn. If you are interested in doing a class science fair project, if you have the science fair coming up and you need a science fair project for your class, and then if you need something that is quick and easy and it's so easy to prepare and prep, this is the resource for you. So I'm going to share with you how to set up this investigation because you're growing corn in 3 different environments. The kids love watching the corn grow. Or you could win the voting and elections with Grace for president, teacher for president, or duck for president, okay? So you could win any 4 of these resources if you're commenting today. And then, Carol, I also have the Veterans Day resource as well. I'm going to share with you, it's not for free today, but I'm going to share with you in a couple of more slides what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner. So Carol, you're my winner today for my first resource. Carol Zalea. So congratulations, Carol. Just message me afterwards. If I don't get a hold of you, you can message me and tell me which one you'd like. Okay? And then I'll send it to you. So you can have any one of those 4 resources I just shared. So if you're new to my group and you've never ever seen me or heard of me before, okay, I do have some teacher testimonials because I like to give you guys the real deal, okay? I am a full-time teacher. Everything that I'm teaching you today is everything that I've tried in my classroom, Okay, I would not sit here and tell you, oh, you should try this. Oh, you should try this. But I've never tried it before. So everything I'm telling you is tried and true with my kids. So these are some teacher testimonials from Christina, Beth, and Donna. So Christina says, this makes teaching fun and engaging, not only for the teacher, but for students. And the examples takes the stress out of anchor charts, and the student work is exactly what my range of learners need. I follow and love this TPT sellers. Seriously, the best book companions ever. Thanks, Christina. That was really sweet. And then Beth says, this was such a fun unit to teach. Thank you so much for the wonderful materials. And then Donna says, I love this. I can't wait to use this resource with my class. As a prerequisite leading up to my formal observation, it covers so many skills in a fun and engaging way. So that tells you that I am the real deal. Okay. This is a video of my classroom. So if you're interested in taking a tour of my classroom later, you're welcome to click on the picture. It's in my YouTube channel, and I walk you through all the nooks and crannies of my classroom and show you how I organize it, okay? Okay, so speaking of organization, this is how I organize my units. So I am kind of old school where I like to have my master copies. I still like to have them in a binder. So I have these binders in a cabinet for all of my thematic units, okay? And I have these cover pages that are in my TPT store. So if you want to click on this picture later, it'll take you to the resource. And I've got all these cover pages for all the thematic units that I've ever taught. And so I just put them in a binder. And inside the binder, I have dividers that have reading, writing, poetry, math, science, social studies, and art. Okay, so I have all of my dividers in there. I have all my masters in there. I like having my binders handy because if a teacher comes to me and says, hey, Kara, I need a copy of this and this, I can just pull that out of the cabinet and I can give them a copy. Not a big deal. So, sometimes technology is not our friend. And so we can't find what we need on Google Drive or whatever. So I like to organize that way. This is how I organize my mentor text. So I've got a ton of mentor text, like I'm sure all of you guys do. And so I organize them into these tubs. In the back of my classroom, I have these cubbies. And so I have these teal baskets. Now these teal tubs I got from Walmart online. They have them in all different colors so they can match your color scheme in your room. They are so durable. They're so sturdy. I've had them for 5 years now. They have not cracked. They have not broken. Or they are so awesome. They're so durable. So I have these labels on each of the tubs for all of my thematic units. So I just grab the tub that I need for the books that I need for the unit. I take them to my teacher table. I pull out the stories that I need. I put them in my theme center because my theme center matches my theme. And so that's how I organize my theme unit, my units for thematic units. Then I have my baskets underneath my desk that are organized for math workshop, readers workshop, and writers workshop. Inside of these clear baskets, I've got dividers. So for example, math workshop, I have dividers for all of my mentor texts that I read for the kids. These are not for the kids to touch. These are all for me. So I can go and grab the books that I need very quickly. And so inside math, I might have like addition, subtraction, greater than, less than, place value, measurement, time, geometry, all the gamut. So, and then every tub has all the different dividers for all the different skills. So those are just some ideas for you guys in case you're having trouble organizing your mentor text, which I know that can be a very big job in itself. Okay. All right. So moving on to my units for November. Now you guys don't have to do all of these. You just pick and choose what you like. Okay. These are units that I've done before. Every year I pick and choose. I do not use all of them. Okay. Some years I might have more time to teach about maps. Some years I might have more time to teach about turkeys. It just depends on my schedule. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? It just depends on my schedule. Depends on the time of year. Depends on our scope and sequence and all that good stuff. So it varies. But for November, you can definitely do autumn and Scarecrows. You can do Thanksgiving. Tomie dePaola is perfect. Election Day, of course, because Election Day is on the 7th. Maps and Globes, Cardinal Directions, Exploring Places. Veterans Day, of course, is next Saturday. And then, of course, turkeys. Okay, so those are all of my different components or different parts of what I teach. So for Tomie dePaola, I tend to start with him because he has a lot of great stories that I can branch off with into my thematic units. So for example, the ones about the Legend of the Indian Paintbrush, the Legend of the Bluebonnet, the Popcorn Book, those 3 stories lend themselves perfectly to Native Americans, okay? Because I love to do a Native American thematic unit. And then we do my first Thanksgiving, when we have our Friendsgiving, I read that story as well. Now, you can read any of these other books because they're really good for inferencing as well. So in my scope and sequence right now, we're talking about inferencing. And so these books are perfect for that, especially for first grade, because they can understand these books really easily. So I have an author center, and these are just pictures that I copied on a color printer, I laminated them, I put them on a bulletin board. And then I have my little sign that says Tomie dePaola, and then underneath I have a shelf that has all of his books on there. So this is one of my 20 literacy centers that I have in my classroom. And so the kids come to the author center. They know all about the author because we've been reading about the author during Reader's Workshop time. And so they have a template that they have to fill out. They have to color a picture of Tomie dePaola. And they read the story, or they look at the story, or they listen to the story. You could even make it into a listening center if you wanted to, or epic, or whatever you want to do with the author center. And then they illustrate the beginning, middle, and end. They write the title, the author, the genre of the story. So I use a lot of the Tomie dePaola books to branch off into my thematic units. And I typically like to read his stories during Reader's Workshop time. So then what I do is I do these craftivities. I love doing craftivities. They are so fun. The kids are so engaged when they're doing craftivities. There's just something about that kids still need, especially in this day and time, they still need to have fun with coloring and illustrating and gluing and cutting and just having fun with art, right? Can I get an amen? Because they still need those things. We test and test and test. I feel like we test so much that all that fun fluff stuff is left behind, okay? So I just make time, but I make it purposeful so it fits into my curriculum. So I try to do at least one craftivity a week if I can. So I do the Legend of the Bluebonnet. We do beginning, middle, and end. So they draw a picture here in the boxes and they write the sentences. And then the same thing for Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. You know, they draw the beginning, middle, and end. Or we do the text connections. So by this time of year, we've already talked about all the connections. Text to self, text to text, text to world. So they illustrate all the 3 connections and they write their 3 connections about the story. So those are just some ideas about what you could do for Tomie dePaola. Now, you can click on this picture and it'll take you straight to those resources in my TPT store, okay? So going on to autumn. Doing autumn, an autumn thematic unit is really awesome too. You can really pull in a lot of different skills for autumn as well. Especially with math and writing and reading, okay? So these are some books that I like to read. Why Do Leaves Change Colors? And science as well, science. Red Leaf, Yellow Leaf, Fall Leaves Fall, The Leaf Man, My Leaf Book, I Know It's Autumn, Awesome Autumn, and we're going on a leaf hunt. So what we do is we do go on a leaf hunt as one of our investigations, because every Friday I have what's called Fahrenheit Friday. And we dress up in lab coats. We're scientists for the day during science time. And I get to do an experiment or investigation with my class. And so one of our investigations is going on a leaf hunt. Okay, and so we go out to the playground. We go outside. We take a baggie. They collect all of their leaves they can find, as many different sizes and shapes that they can find. And then we come back and then we make a leaf man, or you could do leaf rubbings if you want to do that in their journal, which is really fun. And then you could also have them write about a fall tree, and they can make an autumn tree with the construction paper. They can tear off the little pieces of the construction paper and they can make a fall tree. Here is one of my doors that I had decorated that said first grade is unbelievable. And that was really, really fun. And here is a picture of my class outside at recess, collecting their leaves, and they were just so proud to have all of their leaves in their baggie, and then they were going to graph them. So we came back in the room, and you could actually connect this with reading and math and science at the same time. So you can have them graph the different kinds of leaves. And this is in my TPT store. And so they can sort them by color or sort them by shape or sort them by size. And you can talk about what is a simple leaf, what is a compound leaf, and teach them the different kinds. And then they can have fun with their leaf man. So just some cute ideas for autumn. And then Scarecrows is also really, really fun. These are awesome books for inferencing as well. The other day, I think it was Thursday, I read The Little Scarecrow Boy to my class. Absolutely love that story. And we did a lot of inferencing, practicing and making inferences with this story. And so when we make inferences, I tell them, what do you already know in your schema? Because your schema is going to help you make your inferences, because the author doesn't tell you everything in the story. You're going to have to use your context clues. And so we used that story to start learning about inferencing. It was so fun. So the Scarecrow Magic, Scarecrow Pete, Scarecrow's Dance, the Scarecrow's Hat, the Lonely Scarecrow. There's so many great Scarecrow books, y'all. So fun. And so you can have your kids write all about how to make a scarecrow and do a procedural writing. So speaking of procedural writing, I have a kitchen center in my class. One of my 20 centers is my kitchen center. And this is where they get to make recipes. And so not only do they make recipes from different kinds of food, it's all play food, but they get to build things as well. So last month I had, they got to build or make a jack-o'-lantern. This month they're going to build a scarecrow. And so I'm going to show you a quick video later on in my webinar about how the kids make this scarecrow. And so they can make the scarecrow and then they can write about it. So I have the example posted right here in the background. You can see on the wall here. Every time they have a new procedural writing prompt, I have it posted in the kitchen center. It might be something that they make, something that they build, something with procedural writing, because procedural writing is part of our standards. And so I try to make it fun and engaging for them, to build and make different things. So here's another scarecrow project that you can do. You could have them write a scarecrow adventure. After you write about the Scarecrow's Dance or the Lonely Scarecrow or Scarecrow Pete or whatever. So Scarecrows they're really, really fun. The kids really love them. Okay, and then going on to Election Day. So Election Day is November the 7th. And so these are the 3 stories that I love to read, and I'm sure you guys have read them too. And then what we do is we vote for the best, whoever they think will be the best president. So Grace for president, Duck for president, My Teacher for president are 3 really great books to read. And then we vote. And so you could do this 2 different ways. Click on the picture. It'll take you to the resource. You can print out these cards that have Grace or Duck or Teacher. And so they get to vote, and then they get to graph them. We make a graph, okay, to see who wins the best president. Or you could have them write their name on a Post-it note, and then you make a anchor chart that has Duck, Grace, or Teacher. And then you could have them vote. You could even make a ballot box if you wanted to, which I'll show you in the next slide. And then you can have them write about being a president. So you can have them draw a color picture of the White House. And then it says, if I were the president, I would wish. You can have your own ballot box, okay? And then they can have a voting ballot. The voting ballot and the voter's registration card is all in the resource, okay? And so you can have them fill out the ballot, and then they can vote and just make a good day of it. You can have a whole day just full of elections and voting. So it's really, really fun. So this is also in my TPT store. And then Veterans Day is coming up next Saturday. We're going to be having our Veterans Day ceremony on Friday. And these are some really great books that I love to read for Veterans Day. I love The Wall. The Wall is such a great story. It makes me tear up every time I read it. Let's see. Veterans, Heroes in Our Neighborhood. The Poppy Lady. Hero Mom. H is for Honor. Veterans Day. Lots of great nonfiction stories that you can read with your class, because not every kid knows what a veteran is. And then what we do is we've made 2 different projects before. We've made a project with an American flag in the background with a soldier in the front with the different patterns. So I make different patterns, and then they color an army soldier, and then they have the color hair that they want, and they have googly eyes, and then we write a letter to the veteran thanking them for their service. Or I have these Veterans Day letters that say, thank you, hero, or dear veteran. And so these are my Veterans Day craftivities that are in my store. So you're welcome to click on the picture. Again, it'll take you to the resource. And so I have vocabulary words in the resource that talks about they're strong, they're brave, they're courageous. And so I try to encourage my kids to, when they write their story, I try to encourage them to use as many of those vocabulary words as they can in their story. So if they're writing a letter to the veteran, they're saying, thank you for being so brave. Thank you for your service. Thank you for honoring our country by serving, making sure that they're using as many vocabulary words as they can. So because in my district, academic vocabulary is a huge thing, huge push. And so actually that was my T-test goal last year, was to try to incorporate more academic vocabulary within my writer's workshop when they're writing different prompts. And so that was really fun. So I've made lots of different vocabulary cards. You can even make cards on index cards. You can write words on index cards, put them on your pocket chart. Or you can just make like a grid. You can have a grid of paper. You can just write the words on the grid, post it on your smartboard. And then those are the words they can choose. You can make it into a game and make it like a bingo game. Let's see how many words you can use into your story. If you write this many words, you get this prize. If you write this many words, you get this prize. And so I give away bonus bucks for however many academic vocabulary words that they put in their story. So any way you can do it to try to promote that vocabulary is really important. And then we make these hats. This is Presley when she was in my class, my daughter, and I think it was about 3 years ago. And so we make these really cute hats with the red, white, and blue. So we have the stripes on the top, and then we have the white stars on the band, and then we glue them on, and then we staple it together, and then sometimes we wear these to our Veterans Day ceremony, but sometimes we don't, because it depends on the kids if they're going to be silly or not wearing those hats, because those hats are kind of tall, and if they start messing with them, it gets kind of loud. But they're still fun to make, and they still look super cute, and so we love to make these hats for Veterans Day. Okay, I hope I'm not talking too fast. Turkeys. Okay, turkeys are so fun. Turkeys are so fabulous because they're so funny. So lots of hilarious stories that you can read for turkeys. For example, the Great Turkey Race is fabulous. I read that one during math time. The Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Turkey is fabulous. Run, Turkey, Run. How to Catch a Turkey. A turkey for Thanksgiving. Turkey Trouble is wonderful. It's amazing. I love it. And then A Plump and Perky Turkey. And then this one, all about turkeys at the top, is a good nonfiction story. If you want to do like a nonfiction informational genre text writing with turkeys, that's a really good book to read. So here are some turkey ideas that I like to do. Turkey Trouble, we disguise a turkey, and so they can disguise their turkey however they want to. And since we're talking about inferencing, they are giving 3 clues about their turkey, but they're not giving the clues until the end of the writing. So clue number 1, I am a plant that grows. I have a lot of colorful leaves. My leaves fall off in the winter. And then drawing conclusions, I am an autumn tree. So they have to write 3 clues about their turkey. First, they got to disguise him, because in the story, the turkey disguises himself as a lot of different things, a lot of different animals. And then I think at the end, he's a pizza man. So it's really, really fun to do Turkey Trouble. You can have them write all about turkeys if you want to read that informational story I was telling you about, and then they write this one all about turkeys. Or you could have them make a puppet out of a paper bag and glue the feathers on the back of it and the eyes and the beak. And then they are writing, I'm thankful for, and they're making a list of things they're thankful for on the puppet. So you could have them make the puppet if you want them to do a play, a turkey play, or recite a poem or a song. We do when we do Friendsgiving, we have, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but we do a lot of songs during our Friendsgiving. And then these are some other turkey disguises that the kids have made before. So let's see, this one was a peacock. Right here at the top was a peacock. This one was a cheetah. This one at the bottom was a pizza man. And then this one was a police officer. So I love to see all of their ideas. They're so creative. I mean, kids nowadays, they are just so imaginative and so creative, but you have to keep those juices flowing, you know, keeping them engaged with all these fun art projects. Is sometimes it can be a challenge because they don't know, sometimes they don't know how to think outside the box. They don't know how to be imaginative. So you're going to have to like prompt them, show them examples. I keep tons of pictures. If you like to use examples of your past classroom, keep lots of pictures and show your class your pictures from the year before so they can get ideas. Okay, because sometimes it's going to be hard for them to think of something. Let's see. Stephanie said, do you have a year-long writing prompt creativity unit that you sell? Yes, ma'am, I do. It's in my TPT store. Are you wanting writing prompts for all the holidays? Because I have a bundle that has all the holidays. Like it has Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, St. Patrick's, Valentine's. I have a whole big bundle in my TPT store. But I can link it after the webinar is over. I can link it to your question. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Okay, so yes, you're welcome. No worries. Then you can go on to Thanksgiving if you want to. I know some teachers change their Thanksgiving to a Friendsgiving, which we do. We have a Friendsgiving. So you can read 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving, Arthur's Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Treat, Turkey for Thanksgiving, Over the River and Through the Woods is great. You can even sing it. I mean, if you love to sing, there you go. Balloons Over Broadway. Oh, I love that story. I love that story. So lots of great Thanksgiving books. Okay, I'm going to show you a video real quick of my kitchen center because in November, in my kitchen center, I have two procedural projects the kids can make. They can make a cornucopia or they can make the scarecrow. So I'm going to let you watch this for a minute. Okay? Hey guys, this is Kayla from Create Your Balance University. I am here today to show you something new that I have put in my kitchen center. My kitchen center is all about procedural writing. And so for November, I decided to have my kids make a cornucopia. So I went to HEB and I got this woven cornucopia that was empty. And then I got some of these corn on the cob, plastic corn on the cob from Hobby Lobby, and some of the plastic fruit and vegetables that I had from my kitchen center already. And so I put them in a tray, and I have my kids make the cornucopia. And then they can write a procedural story about the cornucopia. Pretty cool. Another really fun procedural writing that we can do in the kitchen center is make a scarecrow. So I thought, how am I going to have my kids make a scarecrow? So during Halloween time, I found this 3-layer pumpkin that has the 3 different sizes. And then I found these scarecrow costume parts. So they have the hands, they have the head, they have the collar, and they have the hat. And so I decided to have my kids dress the 3-layer pumpkin and turn him into a scarecrow. And so I put Velcro on the hands so he can stick on top of the pumpkin. And then I drew a face on the pumpkin with a Sharpie. These both are so great for procedural writing. Have a great day. Hey guys, so that's just something new that I came up with for my kitchen center, and it was really, really fun. I like to have it, like I said, very hands-on, so they can actually build it or make it. So, and the other things I have in the kitchen center are all the Melissa and Doug food kits. So, for example, like how to make a taco, how to make spaghetti meatballs, how to make a pizza, how to make a birthday cake. So I change them out for each month. So it's just something really fun. And then of course they have to write about it. They can't just go there and play. They have to write their story and tell me what they did first, then next and last. So it all ties in with a purpose. Okay, this is my resource that I created most recently for November, Balloons Over Broadway. So, of course, we reread the story and then we talk about the Macy's Day Parade and how how did the balloons get started. And so they're going to choose a balloon to color. Now, I've seen teachers who actually make balloons and they put them on a stick. And they actually have the parade, which is super cute, okay? So you could do that as well. But I have them write about how to be in a puppet parade, because in the story it talks about how the creator started making the puppets from scratch and then how he got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so they're going to write a procedural story about the puppet parade. They're going to create their own balloon. And then I have all of these vocabulary cards in the resource because, again, I like to use academic vocabulary as much as possible. So I just print these out on colored paper. I laminate them. I cut them apart. I put the words on my pocket chart. So whenever we are reading the story and I get to the word steer, I'll stop and I'll point to the word steer. And I'll say, boys and girls, who can tell me what steer means? Okay, can you show me what that means? Okay, we'll try to act it out. Or then we'll talk about famous. What does famous mean? Okay, who do you know that's really famous? So anyway, there's a lot of great things in this resource. So again, you can click on the pictures and it'll take you straight over to Balloons All Over Broadway. And I love doing this story. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so then, let's see. We do Thanksgiving. We can do placemats. So I love using the placemat for Friendsgiving as well. So when we have our Friendsgiving, we all get together, all the classes get together, we have a snack, we create a snack. Usually we watch the Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving and then we make the snack that's actually in the movie. So in the movie it's like pretzels and toast and popcorn, jelly beans. So we make that snack and so they get to make it and then they get to watch the movie. And so they make this placemat. So they set their placemat on the floor in front of the movie, and so they can eat their snack on their placemat. And so in this resource, you can choose between, I think it's a fall tree or turkey or cornucopia. And then on the side, they can say, I'm thankful for, and so they make a list of things they're thankful for. And then we put a border around the side, the edges of the placemat, and I just cut little squares of construction paper, and we make a pattern with the border, and it turns out super cute. You could even laminate them, and then they can take these home. They could eat on them for their Thanksgiving meal. You can also have them write about Thanksgiving with a pilgrim. I have a boy and a girl pilgrim in that resource. Let's write about Thanksgiving. And then this is what I do, a fun activity for inferencing, because like I said, right now our scope and sequence has us teaching inferencing. So we play the headbands game. If you're not familiar with headbands, the kids wear a headband and they have a picture on the card on their headband. They can't see it. So they're asking questions about that card and they're using their clues to see if they can guess what their picture is on their headband. So I created all of these pictures that are Thanksgiving themed. So I have a crow, a pumpkin pie, a pilgrim, a leaf, a scarecrow, a Native American, a turkey, a squirrel, corn. And so the kids have to ask the class questions about their card. So I have all the kids on the carpet, and one child is standing in front of the class with the headband on, and they're asking the class these questions. Am I a food? The class says yes or no. That's all they can say. They can't give away anything else. And then they can say, am I yellow? Am I hard? Am I soft? Am I fluffy? Am I an animal? So they're asking these questions and they're using clues to guess what their picture is. You could do this with anything. You could do this with any story. Create cards for any story. Create cards for any holiday. Create cards for any month. I mean, it's really, really fun. And it's easy to teach them inferencing when you're using the headbands game because they all know how to do headbands. They've pretty much all played that game before. And it's super easy. It doesn't take very much prep at all. Okay, this is pictures of my Friendsgiving that we had last year. And so we make a turkey hat. This is our turkey hat, and this is not my turkey hat, but it's from TPT. but you can click on the picture if you like this hat, and you can go to the resource. And so we make the hat, which turns out super cute, and then we make butter. So we take a jar, a mason jar, and we put the what's it called? The cream, not the whipped cream, the milk, the cream. We put the cream into the bowl, the jar, and we shake it. Okay, so each child has the jar for 1 minute. So I time them for 1 minute, and they shake it really, 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 really hard. So they go around the circle. So I put the boys together and the girls together, and they shake the jar with the cream, and then it churns into butter. And so then we have a piece of bread. I get loaves of bread, and then each child has a loaf of bread, and I smear the butter on the bread, and then we eat it. So they can have the bread with their snack, their trail mix snack from the Charlie Brown movie. So that's their toast. That is from the movie too. So it's really, really fun, and it's really easy. And the kids love shaking the jar. They love watching the cream turning into butter. So it's really easy. So anyway, that's what we do for Friendsgiving. Like I said, we watch the Charlie Brown movie, or you could watch Arthur's Thanksgiving, or whatever you want to watch for your Friendsgiving. And then they eat their snack on their placemat. So it's really, really fun. Oh, we're just in time for our second winner. Let's see. I'm going to pick Stephanie Beam. Stephanie Beam. Yay, Stephanie. You are my second winner today. Congratulations, Stephanie. All right. So you can pick any of those 4 resources I shared from the beginning. If not, I will message you after the webinar is over. So going on to Native Americans. Native Americans is one of my favorite thematic units. There's so much the kids can learn. Oh, you're welcome, Stephanie. So much the kids can learn about Native Americans. And so we can read the Mud Pony. You can read the very first Americans. I am Sacagawea, the Legend of the Bluebonnet, Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. If you lived with the Hopi, if you lived with the Sioux Indians, Cherokee, Iroquois. Okay, and so this is my theme center that I have out in my classroom. So my theme center changes about every 2 or 3 weeks. My theme center is related to science and social studies. Okay, so whatever my theme is, that's what I put up. So this is all about Native Americans, and it shows all the different kinds of houses that they have, their shelters. And then I have lots of different trinkets, like I have games, I have puzzles, I have puppets, I have models, I have a village they can make, just all different kinds of Native American things. I have a drum that they can drum on. I have one of those rain sticks that they can play with. I even have a teepee in my room, so they can go in the teepee and they can read while they're at their library, the library center. So it's really fun, and you can see my teepee here in the background. So this is Kennedy, my daughter, when she was in first grade. We made these houses, these Native American houses. We made a teepee, we made a totem pole, a plank house, we made a longhouse, we made a pueblo, we made a wigwam. We made all these different kinds of houses on our paper plates. So I took a Chinette plate, and then I flipped it over upside down, and so they draw a river in the middle of the plate to make a village. And then I hot glue all the different shelters onto the plate, and I label them with the different tribes. And so we talk about all the different Native Americans of America. And I've also done this project, which is really fun. We made a diorama of a Native American village using landforms. So one of the standards we talk about when we talk about maps and globes and different parts of the world are landforms. And so I had the kids make a Native American village with a river, with mountains, with trees, with the plains, like with all the different, as many landforms as they can make. So I just gave them a box lid, one of those lids from the Xerox paper copy boxes. I collected all those lids. And so they used their lid to make their village. And so I gave them a teepee. We made a teepee. I hot glued it on there. And then they could use leaves, We collected leaves. We collected sticks. They could make a little campfire. They could make fire. They can make trees. I gave them the egg carton parts, and they made a canoe, which was really fun. They loved this project. So I had them cover the lid first with construction paper to cover the whole thing, and then they could create it however they wanted to. They had so much fun. So this took about 2 weeks, so we did a little bit every day. So like one day we just covered the lid. The next day we made the teepee. The next day we made a river. The next day we made a mountain. So every day was a different thing. And so by the end of the thematic unit, they had this whole village that they had ready to take home. And they did such a great job. You can also have them label the parts of the landforms. If you want them to label the river, label the mountains. So you see how it all kind of ties together with our standards. And so it's purposeful. And goes with our thematic unit as well. So making a diorama is also really fun. It just takes a lot of time to do if you want to do it. So you kind of have to plan way ahead of time so you can give them enough time to make one. Okay, so these are some more projects that I've done in the classroom. We made a class book of all the Native American villages and tribes. Making class books is really fun. So I had one of my students make a cover. So we have a title at the top, and then they colored the little teepee. And so each child picked their favorite tribe or their favorite landform that they wanted to write about with their Native American village. And so they picked their favorite one. They wrote about it. They drew the shelter. They drew the landform, and they wrote a story about it. So they put it into our class book. And so then if you make class books, you can put it in the theme center or save them for the next year's class so they can read, get some ideas. We also make these mobiles of the Native Americans. And of course, we write about the Native Americans. We just write a lot of facts about them, how their way of life was, what they ate, their shelters, what clothes did they wear? Did they make jewelry? Did they make arrowheads? All the different kinds of things that they did. And then we talk about all the different parts of the United States, all the different, like the Northwest, the East, the South, the Plains. And so I take one day and we do a different tribe, a different part of the United States. And so this is how I tie in my map skills. Okay. So we talk about what kind of landforms did the Northeastern have? What kind of bodies of water did they have? What was their natural resources? What was their weather? So we're bringing in all the different landforms, weather, natural resources into our thematic unit, plus learning about their shelters, their clothes. How did their shelters differ from each part of the United States? How did their clothes differ in different parts of the United States? How did their diets differ? So we talk about all those things, and it goes great with our thematic unit. So we make this book, my Native American book, and so I have the cover. They color the cover. They have Native American tribes as their title, and so each day we talk about a different tribe. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different tribes, 5 different parts that we talk about. And then another really, really cool, like I said, science investigation is bringing in corn. Okay, so if you have the science fair coming up soon and you want to do a class science investigation, this is so fun. The whole class can do it. Okay, so you have 3 different containers of corn, and you have one with sand, one with soil, and one with water. So these are natural resources, and you're going to lay the corn into each different type of natural resource. The kids are going to predict which type of environment is going to grow the corn the fastest and which one's going to grow the slowest. Okay, so you'd be surprised. All the kids say soil. They think that the soil is going to be the fastest. Well, it's not. The water. Okay, so here is an example of my corn, what it looked like after about a week. Isn't that amazing? Look at all the sprouts coming out of that corn. So in the water, it just grows like that. Now, the thing is that you have to watch these guys every day. So I have a investigation book that the kids can record their findings every day, okay? So they're going to draw what does the corn look like in the sand every day, and the soil every day, and the water every day, and they're going to compare. They're going to write a sentence about it, and at the end, they're going to draw conclusions about what happened to the corn. Why do you think the corn grew the fastest in the water? Why did it not grow at all in the sand? Which it doesn't grow in the sand. It doesn't grow at all. And it doesn't grow in the soil either. Usually the water is the best one, but they don't think about that. They think that just because it's the soil, that the corn needs the soil, which is, it's a valid reason because all plants need soil. And so you can read The Corn is Maize by Aliki is a really great book that you can read to go with this lesson to kind of kickstart it off. And you can use this as your class investigation, and it'll last you for about 2 weeks. So it's really, really fun. So this is a resource in my store. You can click on the picture here. Okay. And then we're moving on to maps. Okay. So mentor texts for maps are me on the map, of course. Follow that map. There's a map on my lap. Looking at maps and globes. Maps are flat, globes are round. Maps and globes, looking at maps and globes. Mapping Penny's World. See, these are great, great mentor texts for maps. And then I have these anchor charts in my store that you can check out if you want to. They're already made for you. So I have all around the world. I have the continents. And what you can do is you can use Post-it notes. The kids can label the continents. They can label the oceans. And then they can color an interactive notebook page that goes with the map, okay? Then you can talk about what a compass rose is. They can label the north, south, east, west of the compass rose, and then they're going to apply that compass rose again to their maps that they're doing with the Native Americans, okay? And then they're going to make a map symbols page. You're going to talk about what is a mountain? What does a mountain look like on a map key? What does water look like? What does a park look like? What does an airport look like? So they're going to create all of these different map symbols on their interactive notebook here and glue it into their social studies notebook, okay? I also have this one with the compass rose. They can glue, what they do is they cut out the words of the directions and they glue the directions on each of the points of the compass rose. And so then we talk about what a globe is. A globe is round and a map is flat. And so then we talk about me on the map, and then we talk about how I am in the center of the circle, and then we have my school, and then I have the city, and then the country, and then the continent. And you'd be surprised at how many students do not know the difference between a city and a state. They don't know the difference between the continent and the country. And it's confusing. It really, really is. So doing a picture like this with the circles, they're going to label the different parts of the circles with their school, their city, their town, or whatever. They're going to go and label, and it really helps them see, because they need to have a visual, okay? I am in the middle, and then everything else is around me. So, and it's a really good visual for them to understand the difference between a country and a continent. So me on the map is a perfect story for that. So these are in my TPT store if you're interested. And then this is a really fun video. I just recently, we just made these last Friday. So I also do a magnet investigation where I tell the kids that the Earth is a magnet, okay? The North Pole, South Pole, the Earth is a magnet. So we are going to create an Earth, a globe, on a paper plate. And then I gave them, they had a compass rose. They had to mark the different directions. And then I made these little transportation buttons. So this is an airplane. They also had a car. They had a train. They had a boat. They could choose which button they wanted to. I hot glued a paper clip on the button. And then they took a magnet on the bottom of the plate and they moved the magnet around and they watched the plane or the train go around the world. So it's kind of the same concept as the spider web. They make a spider web on the plate and they put the spider on the top. You hot glue the paper clip and then you put the magnet on the bottom. So you can watch this real quick here. It's really fun. So they made it go round and round and round and round. Make this a little around the world. So this would be a good like hook. You could do this as a hook at the beginning of your unit for maps. Okay? So they're traveling around the world. And then you could also tie in magnets with this also, okay? Because I talk about how the compass, when ships and when boat captains and pilots, they use a compass rose. And the magnet always points north. The needle always points north. So it's a really good tie-in together. So that's really fun. And then we also have made landforms with Play-Doh. So this is really fun too. This is very engaging. They love this. When you talk about landforms, you can have them create their different landforms on their plate. Now, I don't have each kid make one. I have a group make one together, okay? Because number one, I don't have enough Play-Doh. I don't have enough Play-Doh for every kid to have like 4 or 5 jars or cups. So I do it by table groups, okay? So one person might be in charge of making a mountain. One person will be in charge of making an island. One person, the river. So whatever. And then they have to label them with Post-it notes, okay? So you can tell here at the bottom, they labeled the different parts of their landforms. And then I give them this page that they have to color, and then they have to label, and they have to glue it into their social studies notebook, science notebook. So my social studies and science interactive notebook are together, okay? And so every week it's mixed with science and social studies. I just put those together because of my thematic units, because I do cross-curricular so much, and I just didn't want to have to waste another journal for science and social studies, so I just put them together. So I guess I should really call it my thematic unit journal. Maybe next year I can do that. So landforms is so super fun. You can do that as well. Okay, so I also have these newsletter templates. If you need a newsletter template for your parents, these are the ones that I have for November. I have the one for the Native Americans and the one for elections, and I also have one that has turkeys on it. So on your, you can click on the picture here, and it'll take you to the resource. You can put your name at the top. So I put Mrs. Rickman's newsletter at the top, and these are editable, so you can add in whatever text box you want to. You put in what you're learning for math, social studies, spelling, science, ELAR, and then your important dates for the week. So I send home my newsletter every Monday. I have a Monday folder that goes home with the kids every Monday, and it's a red folder. And I also send an email to my parents on Sunday evenings. So when I'm finished with the webinar here, I'm going to be typing my email to my parents and sending them my newsletter for the week. And so I give them electronic and a paper copy to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, because not everybody reads email. Not everybody reads the newsletter in the folder. So I do it that way so everybody gets a chance to read it somehow. But all the papers that I grade for the week all go home on the same day. I don't send papers home every single day. I only send them home one day a week. It's on Monday. So that it's all together. The parents know to expect that red folder on Mondays. I tell them to take all the papers out of the red folder, put it back in the backpack to come back on Tuesday, and then I start stuffing them again. It's a revolving door. So it's like a life cycle. And that's how I send home my papers. If you need any list for mentor text, I'm your gal. So this is a wonderful bundle that I have in my store, and I use these mentor text lists all the time for every single subject. So I've got Reader's Workshop. All the skills for reading have books for every skill. I've listed all the mentor texts that I use for the whole year, okay? For science, all the skills for science, all the skills for math, all the skills for social studies, all the skills for word families, all the different books for word families. And then Writer's Workshop, same thing. So this is a bundle. If you want to click on the picture and check it out, you can. Okay. Now, this is how I organize my thematic unit. Whenever I plan my thematic unit, I have 5 easy steps to teach cross-curricular. Okay. These are my 5 steps. Number 1, you have to know your standards for science and social studies. Let your standards drive your thematic unit. Okay. It's a lot easier to drive your thematic unit from science and social studies. No, don't do it from math. You can't do it from math. It's a lot harder. Number 2, what questions will you ask your students during your unit? What are some vocabulary words that they need to know? Okay, that's extremely important. You've got to have academic vocabulary. Number 3, pick your mentor text for each subject that coincide with your theme. I read a new mentor text for every subject every day. Okay, so I read a new mentor text for reading, writing, math, and science or social studies every single day. So I read at least 5 books a day. I read a new book every single day, but the skill that I teach is the same for the whole week. Okay? I just use a different book to go over the skill that I'm teaching. Number 4, what is the end goal that you would like your students to know about your unit? Backwards design plan. So if you know what they have to know at the end, then you can backtrack from there. Okay? And then number 5, you decide which purposeful and engaging activities you will have your students complete. For example, interactive notebooks, anchor charts, booklets, writing craftivities, projects, lap books. Okay? So for my Native American thematic unit, these are all the skills that I pulled in to make sure that I covered all of the standards. So natural resources, map symbols, cardinal directions, landforms, research, rocks and soil, informational text, and weather. Okay, so I combined all of those together. So step number 1, like I said, was know your standards for science and social studies. Let your standards drive your thematic unit. Okay, so these are all of the standards that I pulled out of my TEKS resource system. I teach in Texas, and so we have the TEKS resource system. They have all the TEKS laid out for you, which is really helpful. And so, for example, locating places using 4 cardinal directions, create and using simple maps of your home, classroom, school, and community, locate and explore community, Texas, and the United States on maps and globes, identify and describe physical characteristics of places such as landforms, bodies of water, Earth's resources, and weather, observe, compare, describe, and sort components of soil by size, texture, and color, identify and describe a variety of natural resources of water, including streams, lakes, and oceans, identify how rocks and soil and water are used to make products. Okay? And then it says, what questions? Number 2, what questions will you ask your students? I pulled these questions straight from TEKS resource. Okay, so it says, in what ways can rocks and soil and water be used to make products? In what ways can natural sources of water be identified and described? In what ways can we observe, describe, compare, and sort soil? How are cardinal directions used to locate places on a map or globe? How are cardinal directions used to describe the relative location of places? What types of physical geographic characteristics are found in different places? What is the difference between physical, geographic, and human geographic characteristics? How does the physical geography of a place impact the human geography of a place? Do you see how all that ties together with Native Americans? It is so easy. I mean, it's easy for me because I've done this before, but it might be hard for somebody who's never done it like this, okay? So, number 2 is also vocabulary words. What vocabulary words do they need to know? So we need to know what a place is, physical geographic characteristic, human geographic characteristic, natural resources, landforms, weather, clay, fresh water, humus, lakes, natural sources of water, oceans, particles, ponds, rivers, rocks, salt water, fresh water, sand, silt, soil, stream, all that stuff is all with Native Americans as well. So then you want to, step number 3 is your mentor text. You want to see what kind of mentor text can I pull in? What kind of mentor text can I use to teach about maps, teach about rocks and soil, okay, teach about physical characteristics of the maps or human characteristics of where people live, how is their shelter different, how are their clothes different, and then step number 4, what do you want your students to know at the end of the unit? So this is the performance assessment straight from TEKS resource. Create a map showing important places. Include a compass rose and a key on the map. Follow directions to locate places on the map and orally describe their locations relative to other locations using cardinal directions. Okay, so that's exactly what I just showed you in the previous slides. And then also for science, design 3 informational cards to explain how rocks, water, and soil can be used to make products. Okay, Native Americans used all of these products to make their shelters. Okay, they made jewelry. They made their arrowheads. They made their bows and arrows. I mean, all of those different things that they used from the natural resources, including labels, illustrations, or pictures of the natural resources and product it makes. Present the information to other students, a chart, table, or graphic organizer with the following information. Pictures of natural sources of water, the type of resource, stream, lake, river, ocean. Okay, so that's exactly what we did with landforms. Those are all the projects that I just showed you. Okay, step number 5, decide which activities you want to do. So you're going to decide, do I want to do writing craftivities? Do I want to do interactive notebooks? Do I want to do craftivities? Student booklets, lap books, group projects, experiments, investigations? Do I want my kids to make videos or a home project or an exit ticket? Okay, so these are my free cross-curricular lesson plan, a Native American custom lesson plans that I have written. So these are free. If you want to get your free lesson plans, you can sign up on my email list. Okay, and so I'm going to have my email list uploaded in the Facebook group in a couple of minutes. And then if you want to sign up for these lessons, these are free. So I have one lesson for social studies, for math, for science, for reading, for writing, and poetry. So these are the beginning of my thematic unit. Okay, so here they are up close. For reading, we're going to read Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. We're going to do story elements. We're going to do the interactive notebook. For poetry, we're going to read a poem about Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about creating mental images, and we're going to highlight certain words or grammar in the poem. For writing, we're going to write a nonfiction story about Native Americans. We're going to research about them and write a nonfiction story. For math, we're going to talk about different ways to make different numbers using a 10 frame. We're going to read 1 little, 2 little, 3 little pilgrims. And then we're going to talk about different ways to make 5 or 8 or 6 or 10. And then they're going to color in their 10 frames for their math journal. And then for social studies, we're going to do families through time. How have families changed? How has the way of life changed from Native Americans to present time, past and present? Then they're going to sort different pictures on a Venn diagram. You can use an anchor chart, and they can come and sort different Post-it notes on the anchor chart to show the houses, how houses have changed, how transportation has changed, how the clothes have changed. And then for science, we're going to talk about natural resources. They're going to draw the 4 different natural resources that the Native Americans used, and we're going to read Corn is Maize. This is the kickoff to your corn investigation, okay, that you can do. So, like I said, these are all free. Okay, so if you are feeling overwhelmed, I understand. Okay, so what if I told you that all of your lesson plans, mentor texts, anchor charts, interactive notebooks, and writing craftivities are already made? All you had to do was print them out. You could spend more time with your families and yourself for the weekend. You deserve it. Okay, if you are already in my lifetime membership subscription, if you're watching, I just uploaded the whole thematic unit into the membership, okay? So in the membership, in this lesson plan, you have 2 weeks of 40 lessons. For Reader's Workshop, you have 10 lessons. For Writer's Workshop, you have 10 lessons. You have 2 lessons for poetry. You have 10 lessons for math. You have 10 lessons for science, and you have 10 lessons for social studies, okay? So I have this quick little video that you guys can watch that shows my thematic unit. So if you're in my lifetime subscription, membership subscription, then you can look for this in the portal. Okay. All right. So if you are interested in learning about my lifetime membership subscription, so I have 2 different levels. And if you're ready to take your classroom to the next level, level 1 you have access to all my TPT products and all my TPT store. Okay. That is 400 plus TPT products. That's a lot of products. Okay. You have monthly coaching from me. You have access to all of my podcasts, all of my web blog posts, all of my webinars. All the webinars I've ever given are all in the membership. Plus all the courses, if you want level 2, all the courses that I've ever made are Writer's Workshop, from scribbles to stories. and math workshop. So what is the cost? Okay, so if you want level 1, it is $15 a month. You, like I said, you have unlimited access to 400 plus resources, plus new ones that I add each month. So every time I add a new resource to my store, I'm adding it to the membership, okay? You don't have to worry about purchasing any more of my products. They're already there for you, okay? All of my webinars plus new ones, and I've added each month. All the new webinars I've done, plus YouTube videos are in there. My lesson plans, all the lesson plans that I just showed you, I have all these thematic units that I've written, okay? They're easy to follow. They have objectives. They have suggested mentor text. They have anchor charts, skill cards, writing craftivities, the whole gamut, okay? And then, of course, my podcast is in there that you can listen to anytime that you want to. Cross-curricular teaching made easy. And then level 2 has the same thing level 1 has, but you have the courses and you have coaching calls from me, okay? So if you want a coaching call, you and I can set up a coaching call on Zoom and we can talk together. If you need anything from me, like you need lesson plan ideas, you need mentor text ideas, you need a T-test goal idea, you need an observation lesson, you need something about with a project you want to do for PLC. I don't know. Anything that I can help you with, I can do for you. And then the courses that I have are, let me go over here real quick. From Scribbles to Stories. Okay. How to launch Writer's Workshop from day one. Okay. I just gave 3 webinars on how to launch Writer's Workshop from day one in my Facebook group. If you're interested in watching those free webinars, they're in the media section of the Facebook group, okay? And I also have a course that goes through step by step by step, has lesson plans, it has training videos, it has videos of my class doing Writer's Workshop. I mean, it's amazing. And then I also have math workshop course also. How to set up your math stations, how to set up your rotations, how to transition between each station, what kinds of math games do you want in each station, what kind of literature do I use for math, how do I embed my Eureka math or Envision math, how do I embed my curriculum with my math stations, and so I have all of that together. And then the membership includes 400 resources, okay? These are all the resources that I have in my store that are all in the membership, okay? Like I said, you do not have to worry about purchasing any more of my products because they're already there for you. 58 back-to-school resources. Year-long poetry bundle full of poems, okay? The poems that I share with you in the free lesson plans, I've got many, many, many of those. 117 linking literature resources. Those are my story companions. Okay, 23 math workshop resources, 47 science investigations resources, 5 author studies, including Kevin Hinks, Laura Numeroff, Patricia Polacco, Jan Brett, Tomie dePaola, 20 writers workshop resources, 19 readers theater scripts, okay, for your class, all the thematic units you could ever want, all about me, apples, community helpers, Christopher Columbus, pumpkins, owls, bats, scarecrows, Native Americans, Christmas around the world, penguins, Arctic animals, weather, objects in the sky, presidents, American symbols, Texas, rainforest, insects, plants, life cycles, rocks and fossils, ocean and sea life, and then my farmhouse decor resources. So, and this is a list of all my webinars that I've ever made that are all in the lifetime membership. Writer's Workshop, Reader's Workshop, Math Workshop, Literacy Centers, Teaching Cross-Curricular, Creative Fun for Back to School, September, October, November, the whole year, Fairy Tale Writing, Procedural Writing, Nonfiction Writing, Literature Circles, Behavior Management, Focus Poetry, Guided Reading, Writing, and Fahrenheit Friday. Lots of great stuff, y'all, okay? So the total value of all of that is $500, but you guys get the membership for less than half of that. So $200, which is more than half off. What a great deal. So you get level 1, $15 a month, or level 2 is $20 a month. After 14 days, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. I promise, okay? These are some teacher testimonials that have written about my lifetime membership. So Dawn, Terry, and Paula, I don't know if y'all are watching. I think Terry's watching today. So Dawn says, I have used many of your resources and the kids are very engaged. My favorites are the writing activities and the book activities. They are easy to prep and teach. And then Terry says, I love all your resources and trainings. I am so excited to use so many of your ideas and resources in my first grade classroom. I have learned so much from you. Thank you, Kara. And then Paula says, Kara has written a blueprint that is effective and efficient. She shows you step by step how to set up a run and writer's workshop. She makes it look very easy because all the hard work is already done. I'm a veteran teacher who's extremely excited to use this program in the fall. This is money well spent. I loved all the videos. My notebook is full and I have referred back to it frequently. I have started the writer's workshop and the kids are doing well. It is very well done and easy to implement. So thank you, ladies, for that. That is such nice feedback. Okay, so if you want credit for today, you want PD hours, I will message you in a couple minutes. And oh my gosh, it's already 3:15. So the webinar is for 1 hour credit. So message me and I will send you a certificate. And we're gonna pick a third winner. Okay, let's see who else is commenting here today. How about Lucretia Lindsay. Congratulations, Lucretia. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry. So my 3 winners today are Carol and Stephanie and Lucretia. So you guys can pick either Let's Write About Thanksgiving or the Native American thematic unit or the voting and elections or the corn investigation. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask me, okay? I'm going to spend the last minute or so answering questions. So if you have a question, I'm going to scroll through the comments here and see if there was a question that I missed really quickly. I think I answered Stephanie's question about the writing prompts. And then she says, how can we go back and watch this recording again? Okay, so Stephanie, go back in the Facebook group and go back to the media section at the top, okay? There's a media section and it has, under that, it has videos and photos. Go to the video section and all of my webinars that I've ever done in the Facebook group are there, okay? So you're welcome to rewatch that again. You can watch as many times as you want. You can even download it, download the webinar on your computer. So, and also, I make this into a YouTube video. So this goes on my YouTube channel. I also make this into a podcast episode. So I'm trying to repurpose all of these as much as I can. So let's see. I think I answered everybody's question on here. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate y'all. If you have a question that you forgot to ask me, just post it in the Facebook group. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the day and have fun teaching all your great activities for November. And please ask your friends to join our Facebook group and your teacher friends and invite them in. I love having new friends in our Facebook group. So Stephanie, I'm going to send you the Thanksgiving resource that you would like. I'm going to send it to you by Facebook Messenger. Okay. So in a little bit here, I'm going to send it to you. So you guys be thinking about which one you would like. So have a great rest of the day. Have a great week. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.